Few politicians were as recognizable and as polarizing as Northern Ireland's Ian Paisley, who died today. His vow never to compromise, his anti-Catholic rhetoric made him so many enemies he once had armed men defending his home. But then Paisley did something astonishing. He began befriending his enemies and sharing power with them, a stunning transformation other political leaders could learn from. Here's Jacques Bourbeau.
For 4 decades, Northern Ireland was torn apart by religious hatred and violence. And at the heart of the Troubles, you would often hear the booming voice of Reverend Ian Paisley.
To take a stand against the treachery to the plans for the British government.
Paisley was a Protestant minister and leader whose fiery speeches and use of street mobs once got him compared to Adolf Hitler. But his tactics were effective.
Never! Never! Never!
He was known as Dr. No. Paisley spent decades railing against any kind of compromise with Northern Ireland's Catholic minority.
When you're opposing things which you believe are harmful and injurious, then it's hardly unlikely that you would have a unionist out and saying no or never.
For Paisley, no tactic was too outrageous. He even heckled Pope John Paul II, calling him the Antichrist. But in 2007, Paisley shocked everyone, turning his back on decades of his own rhetoric, forming a national government with a former commander of the IRA. The two men, once sworn enemies, eventually getting on so well they were nicknamed the Chuckle Brothers.
He and I were diametrically opposed to each other for many, many decades. But I think the peace process had a huge effect on many, many people, not least on Ian Paisley himself.
In his final years, Paisley used his speaking skills not to sow dissension, but to call for reconciliation.
There are people in Northern Ireland who have diverse religious convictions, but they can live together as neighbours.
So history will have to balance whether the 50 years of negativity really can be cancelled out by the 5 years of positivity.
And with the death of Ian Paisley, those judgments will begin. Jacques Bourbeau, Global News, Ottawa.